Welcome to this episode of the Harpreet Singh Show. I'm your host Harpreet Singh from Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. In today's program, I'm going to take you over to Amritsar, where my guest is Dr. Raman Chatrath. He is a specialist in anesthesia and critical care, and he is an expert in neuro anesthesia, trauma, and critical care. At present, the situation in India is really critical. In Amritsar also, the COVID cases are rising. While there are always two sides to a coin, that is the positive and the negative, we have heard a lot of negative things. But of course, some positive also is being done. So in today's program, we'll be talking to Dr. Raman Chatrath and asking him as to what all is happening in Amritsar and how the doctors and other citizens are trying to help each other. Let's welcome Dr. Raman Chatrath to the program. Dr. Raman, good morning on your side. Welcome to the program.
Hello, good morning, everybody.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks.
So, Dr. Raman, we'd like to start off with what is the present situation in Amritsar? You are dealing every day. What is happening right now?
Actually, the situation is like we never expected it to be like so big. Numbers pouring into our hospitals. About 2 months back, we're like cruising on fine, and government as well as the people were like quite complacent about the fact that we have like won the corona war. But suddenly in the March, end of the March, the cases started rising, and now we are like in the midst of the crisis. Like there are like lots of people, and it's more of a panic also, like misutilization of sources to some extent, and people panicking and running after oxygen and the drugs and whatnot.
Right.
So daily, we are currently in the city. We are having about nearly about 800-900 admissions in the hospitals, which are indoor, and there are a lot. I think 4 or 5 times more the number of people, or maybe more, who are at homes, like in the home quarantine or taking some sort of a domiciliary treatment.
Right. So, doctor, what actually happened? What was that complacency? What happened actually? Why the government and the people were not taking this seriously?
You can say that there's a here comes the like illiteracy or maybe overconfidence on the part of the like politicians as well the people. Like they thought that we have won the war, the masks were off, and people were attending the celebrations. This like going to the Kumbh Mela, going to the Hola Mahalla, going to all this iftar parties, and all the functions were like very well attended, and people didn't have any apprehensions about getting the virus. And you could see the pictures already. Lots of pictures have been flashed that you can see people like moving around in big gatherings without any masks. So, and it was compounded by elections also in many states, where the politicians were more concerned about the votes rather than the lives of the people.
Right.
And we are like facing the brunt of that idiocy, you can say. That lots of people are like being trapped out of that and are rushing to the hospitals. The hospital beds are full. People are hoarding oxygen cylinders, and in anticipation that the things might turn even worse now. Initially, they were complacent 3 months back, 2 months back. Now they are like in panic mode. So that's making the situation a little tough for the administration as well as the people, and the hospitals also are in like a quandary what to do, like how to handle such a big lot of people.
So, Dr. Chatrath, tell us now. We are hearing that there is shortage of oxygen, and but this has been around 2 weeks now. Is the situation better now, or still it is critical from your perspective?
I think still we are getting the official figures are like around 4 lakh new cases per day. So I think it must be like 4 or 5 times more than that, because a lot of people sitting at home who are apprehensive of getting to the cities and getting treatment in the hospitals. Affordability is also a big question. They can't afford the treatment, and they don't like to go to the government facilities also, because though it is free, but they feel something must be lacking, and they try to rush towards the private beds, which are nearly full. So the staff is also like getting exhausted. They are mentally depressed because they have been battling this crisis from over last 1 year. Started in last February, March. It's still continuing in 21. It's May. We are halfway through the May, and in no like uh, uh, signs of like getting a reversal or maybe getting a recovery from this crisis looks nearby, because
Right.
there are talks of like third wave and whatnot. And
Right.
it is basically a mess. Like the virus mutations are going on,
Mhm.
and I have seen like many people who have been fully vaccinated, even getting the COVID attack second time, though it was weak, luckily, and they could not like end up on ventilators and in the critical ICU beds, but still they got the virus despite the 2 doses of vaccination.
Mhm. And of course, as you have very rightly said, the third wave is being talked about, and we do not know what's going to happen. But we will deal with that later. But you talked about the panic situation right now. With this situation right now existing in Amritsar and in parts of India, have the people started taking it seriously, or still there are many people who are still not wearing the mask, still going to places which are full of people and not taking those precautions what you doctors have been recommending for long?
See, the situation is like the panic has definitely set in. That has made like a lot more people a little more conscious. The masks are on, and initially there was a vaccination drive by the government, and from January onwards, for 3 months, people were not very happy about getting the vaccines. Lots of doses were wasted. Even India exported a lot of vials
Yeah,
of Covaxin and Covishield to West. I think Canada was also one of the big
yeah,
recipients. And now,
absolutely.
now the situation is so precarious that we need it more than what we sent abroad.
Right.
So government is trying to do. We are like the corporates. The government is pitching in, bringing a lot of cryogenic containers. The problem is not of oxygen. The problem is of storage, delivery. Like we don't have ample containers. We don't have ample cylinders. The cylinder problem is being compounded by like people have hoarded that their homes in panic. Everybody's keeping two, three, three, four cylinders at home. That maybe when they are on domiciliary treatment, they've got mild attack, they would not like to go to hospital but use the oxygen stored in the cylinders which they have hoarded at homes.
Right. So that hoarding mentality, of course, is existing. But then there are philanthropists like you and many other doctors who have come forward and started helping also. You specializing in trauma and critical care. There are many aspects which you are trying to bring forward to the people that staying at home also you can remain safe and some of the precautions that need to be taken. Dr. Chatrath, it's time for a short break. Let's go for a break. We'll be shortly back. And once we are back, we will continue with our discussion and learn from you as to what all is being done. How are you trying to help the people as far as oxygen concentrators are concerned, or medical help is concerned? There is a medical tip line also which you have started where doctors are available during the entire day. So we'll talk all about this after this short break.
ਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਰੀ, ਡੈਲਟਾ, ਰਿਚਮੰਡ, ਐਬਸਫੋਰਡ ਜਾਂ ਵੈਂਕੂਵਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਵਾਂ ਘਰ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਬਾਰੇ ਸੋਚ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਰੈਨੋਵੇਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ? ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ ਇੱਕ ਤਜਰਬੇਕਾਰ ਬਿਲਡਰ, ਇੱਕ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟਿਵ ਇੰਟੀਰੀਅਰ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨਰ ਦੀ ਜੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਹੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਗਾਈਡ ਕਰ ਸਕਣ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸੁਪਨੇ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਉਸਾਰ ਸਕਣ। ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ ਹਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਜਾਂ ਸੰਦੀਪ 6048259295 ਉੱਤੇ।
ਲੈਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਨਵੇਂ ਤੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਅਪਲਾਈਐਂਸਸ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਸਟੋਵ, ਅਵਨ, ਫ੍ਰਿਜ, ਵਾਸ਼ਰ ਡਰਾਇਰ, ਮਾਈਕ੍ਰੋਵੇਵ, ਫ੍ਰੀਜ਼ਰਸ ਜਾਂ ਡਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ਼ਰ, ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਪਹੁੰਚੋ ਪ੍ਰੀਮੀਅਮ ਅਪਲਾਈਐਂਸਸ ਤੇ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ 3 ਬ੍ਰਾਂਚਸ ਸਰੀ, ਐਬਟਸਫੋਰਡ ਤੇ ਚਿਲਵੈਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਨ। ਇੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵਾਜਬ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਅਪਲਾਈਐਂਸਸ ਮਿਲਣਗੇ। ਇਹ ਡਿਲੀਵਰੀ ਤੇ ਇੰਸਟਾਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਵੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ। ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਪੈਕੇजेस ਫॉर ਬਿਲਡਰਸ ਐਂਡ ਹੋਮ ਓਨਰਸ। ਕਾਲ 6045904140 604 590 4140। Once again, welcome back to the program. My guest today is Dr. Raman Chatrath from Amritsar, and we have started a new series. We are talking about the Corona warriors, people who have come forward and are trying to help each other. And among those are Dr. Chatrath and his group. So we'll talk all about this. But before that, we would like to let you know our sponsors for today's program. This program is being brought to you with the support of Day-to-Day Wholesale Cash and Carry. This is British Columbia's largest South Asian grocery store where you can buy groceries, party-wear, kitchenware and homeware at wholesale prices. More than 5,000 products are displayed on the shelves. For best prices, unique grocery buying experience and high-quality products, come to 7843 128th Street, Surrey. Phone number is 604-503-8787. Our next sponsor is AMC Insurance. If you're looking for home, auto, travel, business, life or recreational insurance, you can depend upon them. They have 9 branches in the lower mainland to serve you, and they're open 7 days a week from 8:30 a.m. onwards till 9 p.m. Phone number is 604-507-6666. Let's get back Dr. Chatrath and continue with the discussion with him. So, Dr. Chatrath, before the break, like you mentioned, one aspect is the hoarding aspect where all these things are being hoarded. But there are large hearted people also who are coming forward. So, tell us, in Amritsar, you also have come forward, and there's a group of Saint Franciscans who have come forward, and there are other groups also which are trying to come and provide meals or provide medical information. So, when it comes to all this, what all is happening in the city right now?
Basically, what we are doing, focusing in this Amritsar COVID helpline is there are 5 aspects to the this help which is being delivered. First of all, is we have a dedicated ambulance services which transports people from the home to the hospital and from hospital to back to their homes. Those who are COVID patients or maybe suspected COVID cases who are having difficulty in breathing, maybe they are desaturating. These subset of population is being taken care of. Second is we are providing food to the nurses, to the technicians who are like loading and managing the oxygen plants and the few patients in the ICU who want it. And third aspect is a teleconsult helpline in which we have like 10 doctors daily doing 2 hours duty and giving free service to the people, advising them what to do and what not to do. Because of limited resources, we want that most of the people should remain at home and get the things managed if they're like having a saturation of say about 94, 95, and they don't actually need hospitalization. So rather than filling the beds, we are helping them. The doctors keep on telling them what to do, what medicines to take, what precautions to follow, so that they don't land up in the hospitals. So we don't want the limited beds to be filled by the people who really don't need to land up in hospitals. And secondly, when they go in for the CT scans, lab tests and all that, they might be disseminating the viruses to the people, or might be, if they are negative, they might be getting the viruses from the establishments also. Like if I go for a checkup to a hospital, if I go for my lab test or for a CT scan of my lungs, I might get some viruses when I land up in that establishment to get those tests done. We're telling them like if you're maintaining fine, if you're having good saturation, there's no high grade fevers, you take paracetamol, you take the basic precautions and remain at home. So that's the like basic motive of this tele helpline. Like third thing is what we are arranging the oxygen concentrators, which we are getting a lot of aid from friends in Canada, USA, Australia, and like in Hong Kong. So all Indians who are spread all around the world are trying to pitch in, and they want like some serious guys who are doing this, because in India there's a perception like if the money will come, that might go like into different channels and might not be utilized properly. But since we are like into the job, doing our practice honestly from last about 25 years, so people know us, and the help is pouring from all over. Like people are sponsoring the pulse oximeters, they're sponsoring the oxygen concentrators, and like maybe ambulances and all that. Like so things are in pipeline, and hopefully we have started the project, and we think that we'll be able to deliver with the help of a lot of more doctors are joining in to serve the people. So that is the part. And then another aspect is like providing medicines. The government supplies something are erratic, like they want something, they're not getting it. So we are like pitching in and like trying to buy the medicines from the market and giving as a supplement to the hospitals, so that in case they get it like a big flow of patients and they don't have the necessary drugs or maybe some masks or disposable items, they should have ample store with them, so that if in case of any eventuality, they are like geared up to face that crisis.
Wonderful. So this tele helpline, Dr. Chatrath, what you're talking, and I see a lot of doctors' names which are coming over here, and you are saying it's a 2-hour duty which they're taking. So is this all voluntary, what they're doing?
Yeah. We have about 100 critical care and anesthesia specialists in the city. Few physicians also have pitched in. Like 2 hours, the person is, we put a roster daily in the morning. And gradually we started just 3 days back. We will extend it to 24 hours. Now it is working around nearly about 20 hours a day. So like 10 doctors will be available 2 hours each, and like it is totally free and voluntary.
Right.
And they have like given their names and said that you put us in the slots and we'll be ready to help people and like allay the fears, anxiety, and all the myths we need to bust around the virus, because basically the virus is mild, as you all know. That is not a sort of life-threatening virus, but if it even affects the like 1 to 2% population, it is a big number because of the mammoth population that India has. Like even 1% of this, like 135 crores, is very, very big number.
Dr. Chatrath, we are also hearing that there are some individuals who have come forward, started providing meals. There is an organization called Fulkari, Muskan. These are some of the
Yeah.
organizations which have come forward. Can you tell a little bit about that?
Yeah, we have like a lot of organizations like Fulkari is there, ISKCON is there, some other like small organization. Khalsa is also there, providing free concentrators. Lots of efforts have been in the communities like the Sikh community, the Hindu community. They have some outfits, maybe langars coming on to the patients and to the people. Medicines are coming on. Like many groups are like trying like have woken up to, because we never expected it to be so big. If you take 1 month back, we thought it is just a wave, like India is going on well. And in fact, they were so overconfident that they were like pumping in medicine to the neighboring nations, to friendly countries all over the world. And though the crisis is so big that we are like short of vaccines for ourselves only.
Right. Okay, as far as the hoarding is concerned, has the government started taking action on those hoarders? Because there are a lot of reports which are coming whereby still, as you mentioned, people are in panic, they are hoarding at homes. But even business establishments also have started going into this aspect whereby they are hoarding the things, which is creating that tension in the community. So is the government also taking some strong action against this?
Yeah, like the police and the authorities concerned have like moved in, but maybe that is just the tip of the iceberg. Like if we saw in the news, because the few like 1,000 concentrators were like being raided and like
Delhi
recovered from Delhi, restaurants and farmhouses. And this is basically a very sad part, that rather than pitching in to help people, people are just storing them. They buy the Chinese stuff for say about $20,000.
Dr. Chatrath, this happens in all the countries. We have people of this mentality everywhere who try to hoard and then try to take advantage and do not understand the precarious situation that exists. And rather than hoarding, they should come forward and help. But again, this is a very unfortunate part. But as we are focusing on the positive aspect today, so now what are you finding out in the community when you are talking to them? That panic mode, you are trying to allay the fears of the people. What all should people do sitting at home? It's time for a break. We'll go for that. In the last segment, we'd like to know from your expertise as to what would you like to suggest to the people, that how they should not be in panic, rather sitting at home, they can take some precautions by which they can save themselves. So we'll shortly be back and we'll continue with our discussion.
है जुल्म ढाने का अंदाज भी कितना हंसी हमारी जान पर बनाई है जब जब उसने अंगड़ाई ली कभी खामोश रहते हैं कभी शोर होता है मोहब्बत में शरारत का मजा कुछ और होता है दिल को जज्बात का तोहफा खामोशियों को बात का तोहफा खूबसूरती में जड़ी नजाकत अदाओं की चांद से मुखड़े को चांद सा तोहफा
भारत ज्वेलर्स सच्चे प्यार की चमक जैसा पायल बिजनेस सेंटर सरी
छोटे घरां तो लैके ਵੱਡੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟਸ ਤੱਕ ਬਾਹਰੋਂ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰਨ ਲਈ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਹਨ ਜੇਰੇ ਸਟੋਨ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਵਾਲੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਟ੍ਰੈਡੀਸ਼ਨਲ ਕੰਟੈਂਪਰੇਰੀ ਜਾਰਜੀਅਨ ਮਾਡਰਨ ਲੁੱਕ ਦੇਣੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ ਜੇਰੇ ਸਟੋਨ ਨੂੰ ਜੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਾਬਲ ਸਟਾਫ ਨੂੰ ਭੇਜ ਕੇ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਐਸਟੀਮੇਟ ਦੇਣਗੇ ਸਟੋਨ ਟਾਈਲਸ ਅਰਬਨ ਸਟੋਨ ਮੋਲਡਿੰਗਸ ਐਕਸੈਸਰੀਜ਼ ਪਿਲਰਸ ਆਦਿ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਸਟਾਲ ਕਰਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਮਹਾਰਤ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਹਨ 25 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਵਾਰੰਟੀ ਮੇਨਟੇਨੈਂਸ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਅਪਰੂਵਡ ਟਾਈਲਸ ਦੀ ਵਰਤੋਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਵੇਖੋ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ 6046149231 ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਵਿਜ਼ਿਟ ਕਰੋ यूनिट नंबर 500 1515 ब्रॉडवे स्ट्रीट पोर्ट कुकटलम
ਕੁਦਰਤ ਦੇ ਸੌਮਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਵਰਤੋਂ ਆਯੁਰਵੇਦਾ ਰਾਹੀਂ 5000 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਬਣਾਏ ਗਏ ਹੈਲਥ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਅਪਰੂਵਡ 100% ਸ਼ੁੱਧ ਆਯੁਰਵੈਦਿਕ ਡਾਇਟਰੀ ਸਪਲੀਮੈਂਟਸ ਦਾ ਲਾਭ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਸ ਐਂਗਜ਼ਾਇਟੀ ਇਨਸੋਮਨੀਆ ਬਲੱਡ ਸ਼ੂਗਰ ਕਿਡਨੀ ਬਲੈਡਰ ਹਾਜ਼ਮਾ ਆਈਸਾਈਟ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੀ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਦਾ ਆਰਗੈਨਿਕ ਇਲਾਜ ਜੋੜਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਦਰਦਾਂ ਤੇ ਸਰੀਰਕ ਮਸਾਜ ਲਈ ਕਈ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੇ ਆਯੁਰਵੈਦਿਕ ਤੇਲ ਵੀ ਉਪਲਬਧ ਹਨ ਹੋਲਸੇਲ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਲਈ ਕਾਲ 604 628 2003
ਘਰ ਇੱਕ ਐਸੀ ਥਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਹਰ ਕੋਈ ਆਪਣੀ ਨਿੱਜੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਸੁਨਹਿਰੀ ਪਲ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖਦਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਭਰਿਆ ਜੀਵਨ ਬਤੀਤ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਪੂਰੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਜਦ ਕਿਸੇ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਨੂੰ ਸਜੇ ਹੋਏ ਘਰ 'ਚ ਬਦਲਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ ਨਵੇਂ ਘਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਰੇਮਿੰਗ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਫਿਨਿਸ਼ਿੰਗ ਤੱਕ ਡ੍ਰੇਪਰੀ ਪੇਂਟਿੰਗਸ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਡੈਕੋਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਅਸੈਸਰੀਜ਼ ਤੱਕ ਤੁਸੀਂ SK ਹੋਮ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਰਵਿਸਿਜ਼ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸੁਪਨਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਹਕੀਕਤ 'ਚ ਬਦਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕਰੋ ਸੰਦੀਪ ਕੌਰ 6048259295
Once again, welcome back to the program. Our guest today is Dr. Raman Chatrath from Amritsar. I will get him back shortly, but before that, some of our sponsors. This program is being brought to you with the help of Agnihotri Immigration Consulting. If you want to know about temporary status, PR, you are new to Canada, you are an international student, you want to know about citizenship, or you want to hire foreign workers, express entry, or sponsor parents or grandparents, you can be helped by Neera Agnihotri, who has been working as a certified immigration consultant since 2006. For honest and reliable information, call her at 604-597-2284. Address is 12788 76A Avenue, Surrey. Neera Agnihotri, Certified Immigration Consultant. This program has been brought to you with the help of Best Home Kitchen Cabinets. If you're looking for custom high-end works, special cabinets, then you can call Best Home Kitchen Cabinets. Phone number is 604-591-8171 and their website is besthomekitchens.com. Let's get back Dr. Raman Chatrath and continue with our discussion. So Dr. Chatrath, before the break, like you were mentioning about all the work that is now being done, first of all, let us know as to that panic, still that panic mode is there. People are concerned. If there is a minor hiccup or people are having even very less fever, they think they have been affected by corona, and then as you mentioned, they should not go out, but still people are going out. So what would be your recommendations to people? What can they do sitting at home?
The first and the foremost thing, whatever organization is doing, we have an organization which is managed by Muskan as well as Each One Save One. So what we do is to dispel the fears, not to panic, and be alert and not succumb to the pressures what you have. You don't go out and get all the tests done. If you have fever, definitely, as per the prevailing condition, any fever or any sore throat and anything which happens is definitely the COVID. 99% of the patient will test positive. But he need not to panic. He need to start paracetamol at home, and so that his fever is controlled. Need to go to the local, we have a lot of good testing centers nearby. Everybody has in a kilometer or 2 kilometer area, there's some sort of a dispensary or some sort of a health center just doing the tests. The private guys are the government is free of cost. The private guys do charge some amount, I think about $700. They come to your home, take your sample and go away. So both things are available. Then when you get your test done, you test it positive. Then you need to be quarantine yourself from the rest of the family if they all are negative. If they all are positive, then this doesn't make much of a difference. Mm-hmm. But if some people are negative and some people are positive, then the person who is positive should definitely be separated from the rest. And he should change his lifestyle, be a little more relaxed, taking a lot of fluids, antipyretics when the need arises. And we have a standard protocol that All India Institute of Medical Sciences has given us, the PGI and all these governments have given us. We start ivermectin on a domiciliary use, that is for 3 days. Then we will start antibiotics who have sore throats and maybe fever is persisting. Antibiotic is given for 5 days. We have got the Indian protocols. We have azithromycin. And then antipyretics, then vitamin C, zinc, and all that stuff, along with the nebulization, steam inhalations, breathing exercises, prone positioning. These all factors are need to increase oxygenation levels. And the last but not least, the most important thing, the gadget which helps you win the war is your pulse oximeter. So we advise them to have a pulse oximeter, and if the saturation is 92, 94, they can still comfortably stay at home. Mm-hmm. Do all the breathing exercises, improve their lung capacities. And if the fever is persisting and they're worsening with increasing respiratory rate and maybe the falling saturations, then we advise them to go to the hospitals, mm-hmm. to seek the medical advice. And then maybe if the admission is needed, then they go in for that. Otherwise, they're sent back home with the new prescriptions or maybe the add-on drugs like steroids and anticoagulants. Mm-hmm. The whole paradigm of the treatment has changed from initially we were very gung-ho about the remdesivir, is an antiviral which is commonly used in India, as well as the tocilizumab. So these sort of things were initially very much focused upon, and some sort of a they say in India Ramban for the panacea, you can say, for treating the patient. But after about 1 year, we see that these drugs were not very effective. There were a lot of side effects. So back to the basics, we tell them, the people, to stick to the paracetamol, to lots of fluids, doing some yoga, breathing exercises, prone positioning, and then some sort of a meditation to cool their nerves. And if the need be, then they come to hospital. We don't advise them to hoard oxygen at home. That's why we have focused on, because cylinders are clumsy. They're dangerous also. If they fall down or explode, they can injure the person, maybe injure a lot of the whole family also. And that's why we are focusing on the oxygen concentrators currently. The people need to buy concentrators. We are arranging 100 concentrators from our organization, and so that we supply to the people around. We see a lot of schoolmates who are pitched in from the St. Francis. They are also arranging concentrators. So we are trying to fill the gap what the government could not do, or what the private agencies could not do, or the hospitals could not do. We're just midway between, trying to fill the gap and trying to allay the fears and provide some sort of advice and maybe some oxygen concentrators and transport facilities so that they can go and get the test done. They can go and seek the medical help. If needed, they stay in the hospital. If not needed, they're sent back with some sort of change in the treatment.
And we would also like to recommend and commend the services of St. Franciscans, as you said, the group of 84. Amongst them are Rajesh Seth, Kapil Mahendru, Manish Seth, and many others who have come forward and helping you in getting oxygen concentrators, Ravi Goenka and others. So, Dr. Raman, before I let you go, there are a few things which I would like from the horse's mouth, as you say. See, the situation is there are a lot of still naysayers and conspiracy theorists who are saying that vaccines are not good for you and corona is fake and all those things. And as you have seen, the social media has been flooded with those things also. What would you like to say to them?
I think in India we get a little more percentage of people who are illiterate, and maybe some fanatic also, that who say that our religion does not acknowledge the existence of virus, and maybe our God will sail us through. So, but they have seen in Kumbh Mela, the many seers who were in the melas, or maybe some ragis, patis, and all the big shots in their respective religions passed away with the virus. That must have sent ample signal to the people that they need to be cautious. At least mask is the best weapon of defense. And regarding the vaccination, from my personal experience and from the people around, I can say the people who got vaccinated twice, I myself got vaccinated, and I had COVID in the family, but I was saved. So I did not get the second attack of COVID. And even those family members who got, my wife is a head of department in the government medical college. She's in charge of all the COVID ICU, the government medical college, and they manage about 600 cases. 500-600 cases capacity. They have 650 beds and increasing to 850 from next week. So she's in charge of that. She got a COVID last week and she recovered from it, and it was a mild symptom. And that simply you can say that having got vaccinated, she was just hale and hearty, mild cough, fever, and she was okay. So that sends a signal that people who get vaccines are definitely saved, even if they get a second attack or maybe first attack, that is just mild. And especially I want to carry a message to the people. The young are definitely on a safer side because of the good immunity and good cardiopulmonary reserves. But the people who are elderly, who are obese, who are smokers, who are alcoholics, who have some sort of a renal, cardiac or hepatic problem, these are the subset of people who are on a very wafer's edge. They might get they can't tolerate this much of dyspnea. Little respiratory efforts get severe, they will surely deteriorate much faster and land into hospital. If you have parents, if you have well-wishers, your neighbors who are elderly, who are having comorbidities, these are the patients who need to be focused upon, because this pandemic is going to suck a lot of elderly people who with comorbidities, and especially if they are illiterate and poor, that adds on to the burden, and they are surely going to be in a severe problem. So they need to be very cautious.
Right. Dr. Raman, thank you very much for your time. And towards the end, where, this program, wherever people from Amritsar are watching this, if they want to come forward and be a part of this movement and help the people who are needy, where can they contact you or your group? Any email or phone number which you would like to share?
We have a helpline number for the ambulances and the services.
Mm-hmm.
And on the Facebook we have a Amritsar COVID helpline where we daily put the roster of the doctors available, and our numbers are also there. They can always call us, pitch into this battle, and like we'll really fight it out, and surely we'll win this battle.
Absolutely.
Indians and especially the Punjabis have a die-hard spirit,
Right.
and we won't take it lying down.
Absolutely, very true. Thank you very much once again, and we are proud of your services and the frontline workers who are at the forefront trying to save people. And we also appeal to all the public that let's join hands wherever we are sitting anywhere in the world, and let's try to help each other, because these are challenging times. But if we join hands, then definitely, as Dr. Raman has said, we will succeed. Dr. Raman, thank you very much, and best wishes to your entire group and to the St. Franciscan group. Thank you very much. Thank you. So this was Dr. Raman Chatrath from Amritsar, and this series which we have started, in which we'll try to bring forward from all over the world people who have come forward, groups that have come forward to help each other in this time of crisis. Wherever you belong to, wherever you want to help, please come. Even $1 makes a difference, and no money is big or small, but with the intention that you're trying to help, that is all what matters. So once again, thank you very much to all my viewers, and see you again with another episode. Have a safe evening, stay healthy, and enjoy yourself.
ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸਮੈਨ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਕੀ ਵਜ੍ਹਾ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ? ਸੁਖੀ ਬਾਟ ਮੋਟਰਸ ਦੇ ਓਨਰ ਸੁਖੀ ਬਾਟ ਨੂੰ ਵੇਖ ਕੇ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਸਮਝ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇੰਟੈਲੀਜੈਂਸ ਦਾ ਉਦਾਹਰਨ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕਾਰ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਖ ਸੁਖੀ ਬਾਟ ਮੋਟਰਸ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਨੇ ਸਰੀ ਦਾ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਟਰੱਕ ਸੈਂਟਰ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲੋੜ ਦੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੋੜੀਂਦੇ ਟਰੱਕਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਗਾਈਡੈਂਸ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸਪੇਸ ਮੋਡੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਫਿਊਲ ਐਫੀਸ਼ੀਐਂਸੀ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਧਿਆਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਸੁਖੀ ਬਾਟ ਟਰੱਕ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਟਰੱਕਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਟੌਰ।
ਵੈਨਕਾਸਾ ਟਾਈਲ ਅਤੇ ਸਟੋਨ ਸ਼ੋਰੂਮ ਇੱਕ ਐਸੀ ਥਾਂ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹੋਲਸੇਲ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਹਰ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੀਆਂ ਟਾਈਲਸ, ਸਟੋਨ, ਮਾਰਬਲ, ਬੈਕਸਪਲੈਸ਼, ਮੋਜ਼ੇਕ ਆਦਿ ਵਾਜਬ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਮਿਲ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਟਾਲੀਅਨ, ਸਪੈਨਿਸ਼, ਚਾਈਨੀਜ਼ ਪੋਰਸਲਨ ਜਾਂ ਸਿਰੈਮਿਕ ਟਾਈਲਸ ਜਾਂ ਮਾਰਬਲ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਆਰਡਰ ਤੇ ਜਾਂ ਕਲੀਅਰੈਂਸ ਤੇ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਮਾਲਕ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟ ਟਾਈਲਸ ਇੰਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ, ਜਿਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਸਮਾਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਦਾ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰ ਬਣਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਵਿਜ਼ਿਟ ਕਰੋ 1304 84 ਐਵਨਿਊ ਸਰੀ। ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਹਿੰਦੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ 604 330 7363 604 330 7363।